So in this video, we will explain how the VMware installation works. Please review the skills that you will require and the expertise. It's important that you have all the skills you need to do all that. You have to download the images from these links, and yeah, I have them already here, just so you don't have to wait forever until I do that. We will now go and use VMware to upload these images. I'm going to be using Fusion for this. So we just select the image that we have downloaded already from eramba. We open it up and we wait until this thing loads into Fusion. So now it's coming. You will have to log into this image using SSH. So for that you will need an SSH client. You will see that I have a Mac, so I just use a terminal screen to log in here and being able to execute the commands. Okay, so again you have to sort this out on your own on how you have your setup. Okay, make sure that you have the right hardware for this computer. The guest image will need internet connectivity. If you don't have internet connectivity, this will never work. So make sure you have that. Now, this image has an Ubuntu installation. That's a Linux distribution that will be now loading up. The credentials for logging into this Linux system are defined in the documentation. Remember, this is going to be using a DHCP IP address. You probably want to fix that IP address, and again that will require you to configure the Ubuntu system. Please review the Ubuntu system on how that is done, but don't forget to do that because the IP address might change. Okay, so those are the credentials that you will use to log into the image. So eramba, and once you're logging into the system, you will see that yep, it will tell you what IP address has been obtained by the system, and now you can SSH there. So the IP address here is 172.16.189.129. I'm going to be now doing SSH there so I can comfortably work. Eramba at the IP address and then the password, which is eramba. Also, you can see that I'm checking the internet connection. The image will try to do a very basic check of the internet connection, but you should always double check that, okay? Very important, without internet connection, this will not work. So you see here, I'm running the command. You see that there is a success. If you see anything different, you need to configure your environmental variables to use a proxy if that's what you need. You have to set up your TLS certificates and your domain names. And again, there's a guide explain how to do that there. You will need Linux skills. In the end, this is a Linux system now. The VMware, remember, runs on Linux. So once you get the system, you just go to home docker as explained in the guide. You run the command that is given to you, and the system dockers basically will start composing, downloading the images, creating the containers, creating the networks, creating the volumes, doing all this magic that containers can do. And by the end of it, the system will start to boot up. Yeah. So now we need to wait a little bit until this finishes. See, now we have there the volumes, the containers are being created. Once they're created, you need to wait until they're fully up, okay? Creating a container doesn't mean that it's fully running, so we can see now that they're there, and we can check the logs. It's the quickest way to know when they are actually finishing. So with that command, we see what's going on. Now the system is uploading the database, so you see the system is running, but it's still not ready to be used. You have to wait until the database is uploaded, and there's some process that will be running in there. And the latest thing you will see on the log file is the Apache saying, well, I'm up and running. So let's wait until that happens. Okay, you see the Apache is up and running, so we should be good now to use the IP address that we have been given by the actually VMware host system. Just put the IP address in there, and remember that you need to use HTTPS, and you put the port you're connecting to, and the system will be up and running. After this, all you have to do is to log into the system and follow the guides to do the basic post-install configurations. Okay, this is essential for you to be able to use eramba. We use the default credentials, and now we will be asked to validate. This is an optional step. You may do it or not to validate your email address. That's for us to contact you. Not yet. This is just the email that you will assign to the admin account, and the password. You need to change the default password, of course. This is the validation. We're gonna skip the step now, but if you want to stay on our database in case you want to receive notifications when we give updates, you can provide your email and we will be able to help you. The final step is now to check that the system health is all up and running. It should be fine because everything is basically done for you, so there's not a lot you have to do in there. Step is to set up your public IP address. You need to set up this in you. So you just get the IP address from the browser and you save, so that setting is there. Don't forget to configure your time zone and your email, and if you want as well, your logo.